You guys are about to go up and speak at another one of the rallies that you've been doing, the fighting oligarchy.
We are looking at a nation which is now oligarchic. And they don't hide it. I mean, I must give them credit for it, but, they're out there. Mr. Musk, the richest guy in the world, is running all over the place, cutting veterans, the needs of veterans, cutting after Social Security.
You got richer, bud.
There are in addition to Musk, he got 13 nominees of Trump to head major agencies. They're all billionaires. So you got a government, clearly, no embarrassment, of the billionaire class, by the billionaire class, for the billionaire class. And then what is, I would hope, would be upsetting to all Americans, no matter what their politics may be. You can be conservative about this. You got a president who is moving us very rapidly into an authoritarian form of society.
There is such an irony to Democrats talking about oligarchy because, of course, for every one billionaire that backed President Trump, Kamala Harris had 2. 9 of the 10 richest counties in America are represented by Democrats.
Damn.
65% of Americans making over $500,000 a year today are Democrats.
Damn.
75% of hedge fund managers who make political donations donate to Democrats, and 95% of political donations from the top 3 management consulting firms go to Democrats.
Damn.
Meanwhile, President Trump absolutely crushed with Americans who make under $100,000 a year. The Democrats are the party of the wealthy. And Donald Trump is representing the working class because he simply lifted the pro-worker elements of the Democrats' agenda when they abandoned the working class to cater to their rich base. This is all performance art.
Yeah.
And what's so upsetting about it is they are being paid by the American people to serve them, and they are doing nothing of the kind.
She just put them in a trash can, for real, for real.
You brought the stats, bro.
Like, oh
Facts.
my God.
Can't argue with that.
You can't argue with the facts. Is it the fact that they just pretend like their party is like the working class
But-
when we
but-
know that's
I guess
BS.
it used to be
Literally.
maybe 30 years ago, maybe.
Things have
Literally,
changed.
the workers changed on them.
Yeah.
But what is that group called again?
The Teamsters.
The union workers literally changed on them. Let's not forget about that.
Teamsters.
Hey guys, fraud is at an all-time high right now. We all saw what's happening during the Biden administration, man. It was crazy. Like, I've heard horror stories of people who were fighting for their own homes for 3 years in court. So basically, guys, what can happen is somebody can actually steal the title to your home. So the reason why that is a problem is because they will end up making you pay the payments like to the bank, and they will be the owners of your home. And I know this sounds crazy, but it happens like all the time. Like, this is a real problem.
Or they could, I think, use your name and make you sign off on something that you didn't sign off on.
Yeah.
And you'll be having a home title that you didn't even sign up for.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they will use fake IDs. They will do anything. And it happens so easy. Like, if you put any type of your information out there, they can do it. And there's really nothing the police can do about it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Officer Tatum, y'all know him. He was a police officer, and he even said, there's nothing you could do about this. Like, the police just add you to the list. There's nothing you could do about this.
When was the last time you checked your home title loan? If you're like me, the answer is never. And that's exactly what scammers are counting on. That's why I trust Home Title Lock. Their $1 million triple lock protection helps you keep your home and equity safe. Here's what you get: immediate 24/7 monitoring of your property, urgent alerts if there are any changes, and if fraud should happen, their US-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix the fraud and restore your title at no additional cost.
$1 million?
$1 million. They will spend $1 million to fight for you. Like, really just think about somebody to fight for you in your corner and your home, man.
So we've teamed up with Home Title Lock to give you a free title history report so you can find out if you're already a victim and access to your personal title expert. You get a $250 value just for signing up.
Go to HometitleLock.com and use our promo code Cartier or click on the link in the description and make sure to check out the $1 million triple lock protection details when you get there.
I assume you approve this message.
100%, absolutely. Democrats are in a crisis right now. They're on life support. They have a testicular fortitude problem. They are not fighting nearly as hard as they need to fight for the American people, as was seen last week during this CR vote in the Senate. It's a problem. And for me, it's not about the parties, because the parties are going to kind of do their thing. It's about the people rising up and holding the parties accountable. Democrats have fighters. Jasmine Crockett, AOC,
How do y'all take him
Ayanna
serious?
Pressley, the whole squad,
AOC,
Greg
Jasmine
Casar,
Crockett,
Camilla Jayapal,
Presley.
and governors and mayors across the country are fighters.
it's not
But we
looking good.
need some of the OGs in the party to
Oh, geez.
elevate, uplift the younger people
or do they
and
need
take a
to
step
do
back.
they need to step aside?
And or step aside, because we need to hear new, fresh, bold voices. That's what the American people want. And if the party doesn't do that, the party is about to be finished.
I hope that AOC, Pramila Jayapal, Greg Cesar, I hope they're the new face of the Democratic Party because Republicans will be winning elections all over the country if that is the face of the Democratic Party. Are you?
I mean,
a district like mine that Joe Biden won by 10 points, okay, 10 points. Kamala Harris won by half a point. Okay, I won by 6.5 points, 24,000 votes in a district that has 85,000 more Democrats than Republicans. Why?
And you're right.
Because the
but you ran against a cornball candidate. You had someone.
He
was not my
friend. Your friend.
You had someone run against you
Facts.
who was not a strong candidate, and we still
that
have,
we agree on.
we still have consultants and big money controlling the
But you're
Democratic
missing-
Party.
you're missing- you're
Compromise.
missing-
She did outperform Kamala Harris in her
Come on
district.
now.
Trump did,
Sure.
Trump
He
did
knows
better
this.
than
But here's my point.
Man, let me go against
the
Jamal.
New York, look no further than New York, where issues like cashless bail have been a disaster. Issues like sanctuary state status, congestion pricing. In districts like mine, where Democrats on paper should win big, they're losing. And so if the messenger is AOC, who, by the way, was originally from my district, she grew up in Yorktown, not the Bronx. If AOC is the face of the Democratic Party in swing districts all across this country, she will mobilize voters way more than Nancy Pelosi ever did.
Let me just add the counterpoint within the Democratic Party to what AOC is saying. From this is Elisa Slotkin. She gave the Democratic response to the State of the Union address much more of a moderate voice in the party. Listen.
I can't just chain myself to the White House and become an activist full time because you and others here are going to call me for things that you need. All of those things require me to be more than just an AOC. I can't do what she does because we live in a purple state and I'm a pragmatist. I got to save things for my people.
See
Things are getting messy.
Come on,
there.
son.
It's getting very messy.
That's white flag energy right there.
Names are
That's
being
white
put on
flag
the table.
energy right there.
No, I think she's right.
What do you mean you think she's right?
Because I think
First of all,
I
even
think it's
choosing
easy.
her to give the response to Governor Trump.
That's your party's
Governor
choice.
Trump. I should call him Governor
let him
Trump.
talk,
President Trump is a problem.
You should be the chairman, by the way.
I mean,
the
this
advice
is
you gave
crazy.
All right, let me let Joe finish.
Go ahead, brother.
You know, she is right in the sense that it's easy to throw grenades. You can be AOC and throw grenades all day in a safe district and not have to account for anything. There's a huge delta between the hype of AOC and the accomplishments of AOC. And frankly, if you look at that tour she was just on with Bernie Sanders, right? It's called the Fighting Oligarchy Tour, right? They essentially travel the country and spoke to an echo chamber of people who already agree with them. How is she and Bernie Sanders, with their message, going to attract people in swing districts
I
by the
guess what
Fighting
I wonder
Oligarchy
is
Tour?
Oh my God, bro! Jamal is actually like
He's insufferable.
He's like a goofball,
he's like a
bro.
child, bro.
He's a laughing stock.
He's a freaking dork. Like he's literally a dork. When we saw him out there, what was he rapping to?
I don't
He
know,
had the
bro.
T-shirt and the
He had
cargos
the chair
on.
and the yellow
Was it
shirt and the
Eminem?
cargo.
It was
bro.
some song.
And
It was just
AOC
so
got
cringe.
voted in, and you did it.
Yeah, man.
You suck. You're a purely a loser. And I
Yeah.
don't say that about nobody on here.
Yeah.
You're a loser, buddy.
Yeah, I have to agree.
You suck for real.
I co-sign that. I gotta co-sign that. And we young black dudes telling you that. And we young
They say
dudes
we
that look
YN.
like you. You know, we gotta keep it 100 with you, bro. You suck. You suck.
Well, you know the Democrat Party try to call us YNs.
Hey, bro,
YNs with master's
If we
degrees.
YNs, that's the reason that they never gonna win, bro.
They say we YNs.
They don't know what a YN is.
That's insane.
They
we
don't know,
also
bro.
are past
Oh my
that
God,
age.
we are. That's what makes it
Oh
go crazy.
We're
shit,
literally
bro! This
grown
dude
adults.
sucks, bro. For real, man. Hey, they knew not to put Scott on there at the same time as this dude, though. Like, actually, though. They could've-
All you got to bring up is the
fire extinguisher. bro.
that's
I swear to
it.
God, like,
You
bro.
didn't know the
Hey,
difference
bro.
between a door and a fire
He
alarm.
knew. Everyone knows he knew.
Incompetent.
He knew.
Come on, bro.
Just to hear,
He's trying to stop the voting.
we know, but it's just the fact that he used that as an
He
excuse.
said, I didn't realize. Yeah, but that's why you didn't get voted in again. That's the reason why. He tried to be a justice warrior, and he made himself sound more stupid.
Yeah.
Tonight, quote, what in God's name is going on with Gavin Newsom? That's a headline, and there's headline after headline asking that sort of question as the
Unawakening.
country is trying to figure out how he went from progressive hero and governor of the most liberal state in the
MAGA
country
Curious
to
podcast.
interviewing and spending time with Charlie Kirk on his new podcast. The Pay File looked into that, finding that Newsom, he's really completely changed his tune on some of the most hot-button issues for Democrats. K-File's Andrew Kaczynski joins me now. And Andrew, I mean, just going through some of these, he's got this podcast, and the concept was he wanted to talk to the other side, right? He was going to go into the lion's den. Back in the day when he did that debate with DeSantis, right? This is consistent.
Yeah.
So his first time, though, he goes out and he backs away from some unpopular progressive policies, even ones that he's championed. So let's talk about the word Latinx.
Latinx.
Just 2 weeks ago, here's what he said.
That's Latinx.
It's Latinx.
Not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx.
So can we find
Oh, wow, it is
Latinx.
Latinx.
But where did that even
No more Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from.
What
I'm
is
like, what are
Latinx?
people
I don't
talking
know. I thought it was Latinx.
But there was a person who used Latinx. It was actually a really important person. It was him. Right?
Minor shifts. These are progressive issues that Gavin Newsom used to champion until fairly recently, and now he's not just walking
What does that
away
even
from
mean?
them. He's sort of acting like
I have
they were
no
never
idea.
legitimate
It's supposed to be
with that clip,
gender neutral for Hispanics. Because you know how you got A and O for like Latinas and Latinos. You see, you get it? So they put the
So
X.
how can we do it for niggas?
Niggas.
Niggas, we already got it.
You're a Negroid.
Well, I think niggas are more boys usually, right?
I don't know. I guess.
walking away from them. He's sort of acting like they were never
Negroid.
legitimate with that clip talking about Latinx in
That is
the
crazy.
first place. But let's take Latinx. We did find somebody who used it repeatedly in his office. Let's take a listen to this.
I hope we can really paint a picture in terms of our consciousness of how impactful this has been on the Latinx community. Latinx community, the Latinx and Black communities. You've got politicians that banning not a the word Latinx.
He's a typical politician, though.
You can say Latinos.
And look, Aaron, those aren't the only times that we found that he used it. He also used it a lot on social media. Look at a few of these right here. You see there, that is a lot of use of Latinx by him for somebody who said
I never
that
thought
nobody
about that,
in his
though.
office is
What?
Hold on. How they, in Spanish, they do
Use
different
A or O.
things.
Yeah, for masculine and feminine.
You
Yeah.
said nobody used it? So they had to change their whole language now to please the woke people?
That is crazy.
How do you learn Spanish now? Especially California, it's hella Mexicans.
Hispanics.
Hold on, bro. Did Gavin say he didn't use it, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it.
Yeah, he said I never used it.
By the way, not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx. I'm like,
He just hit. He be lying his ass off.
well, I just didn't even know where it came from.
He's
like,
trying to get.
He told he was weak. He knew he had some clip made right there.
That's a bad.
yeah,
we
what
agree.
but where did that even
No
come?
more
I'm like,
Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what did people talk about?
He's trying to come back to the middle, bro.
He's too
He
far.
is doing what's best if he wants to win.
Right.
But he can't lie about it.
All right, so he's
He can't.
Oh my.
But he should have just like been like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was tweaking with that. That was too far.
He used it
People can respect that.
more than probably 10 times, bro.
Yeah.
also rewriting history a bit on his stance on transgender issues, which he had a point of view on his podcast again just 2 weeks ago. Here's where he is now.
It turns out in 2014, years before I was governor, there was a law established that established the legal principles that allow trans athletes in women's sports. But the issue of fairness is completely legit. It is an issue of fairness.
Yeah,
and
he
I think
fucking
Democrats
paid.
have lost that.
He wants to win an election.
He was in the
No,
room
he didn't
with
always feel that
Charlie.
way.
No, that's right. And look, in
Oregon
that
team.
statement, he's kind of making it sound like he wasn't involved in this at all. He's like, oh, it was in 2014, years before I was governor. Like, you mean when you were the lieutenant governor? When you actively defended and praised that law? And one of the videos that we found was actually him
He's an
praising
editor,
not just
bro.
the governor at the time, Jerry Brown, but the California state legislature for putting that in place at the time. Take a listen to this.
The editor's
I made a
Thank you for what you did on civil rights for students in our schools, transgender rights in this state.
Transgender rights.
I mean, okay, so then there's that. Then there's transgender issues, right?
This
Transgender
is
policies.
crazy.
The governor referenced your
I can't
own
believe
reporting
it. The
on
Democrats
Harris's
say.
support for those taxpayer-funded sex change operations for detained migrants, right? Remember here when we had that conversation? Okay. It sifted the presidential campaign, right? That moment here. So here he is talking about it.
Damn.
Trump's for you,
CNN.
she's for they, them.
And
devastating.
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 And let's talk
and
about,
she didn't even react to it, which was even more
and let's talk
devastating.
about
It was
So
true.
he's
though.
referring to the ad that they put
It's a
out
fact.
using the clip from when
That was an
we were
excellent
here.
ad.
Only a
of the
handful
Trump
of years ago, though,
campaign.
he
touched the
agreed
hood.
with Kamala Harris on this very issue.
Yeah, and it has been the law in California to allow transition care for prisoners since 2017. Gavin
That's
Newsom
crazy.
didn't speak out or say anything about it until now, 5 years later when it became a political
They wonder why they get
liability. In
taxed
fact,
so
he
high. They're
signed a
wasted.
landmark transgender rights bill for prisoners that affirmed their right to have this type of care, and he approved a state Medicaid expansion that also extended gender-affirming care to undocumented immigrants. So his record on this is really not matching the
Radical.
that he was putting out in that podcast.
Podcast. All right. So what's he
And
saying
I'm supposed to
tonight
vote
about
for
all
this
that?
shit because I'm
So we
black.
reached out to their spokespeople.
Yes.
They declined to comment on record. They sent us on background comments that said that he's worked to protect transgender youth. They said, quote, Latinx is not a term that is regularly used by the administration.
Thank you, CNN.
And they did not clarify his comments on transgender prisoners at all, saying only that the governor's comments speak for themselves.
Wow.
Right. Well, I guess they do.
Thank you, CNN.
They pulled the receipts on him. They said, "Yeah, buddy, you're not finna get on here and lie."
They covered it, but
You're not gonna lie for your campaign.
I don't know, man. CNN don't put everything on their YouTube. I don't like that stuff, man.
You know, I want to hear a woke Spanish person talk because, like,
Go
how
to the
they,
View.
How do they speak though?
yeah, that's kind
In
of hard.
Spanish.
Yeah,
Without using.
What do you mean?
Because
you got to use
in
a.
Spanish, things are different for male
Man.
and female if you're talking to, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're speaking Spanish and you're woke and you're,
And you're
trying
talking
to
to a- yeah.
affirm people, how do they do it?
Did they just
They
add
don't.
X?
They probably had to change their whole language.
Yeah, because like if I'm speaking towards a woman or trying to call a woman something, it's going to be with an A.
Yeah, like if you're saying tranquila, that means like chill.
Yeah,
tranquila,
tranquila.
for a woman.
Tranquilo.
Tranquilo for a man.
Tranquilex.
Tranquilex.
The Keelex.
Me or Monix. Me or Monix.
This shit can't be serious, man. Now,
No,
Gavin
this
Newsom,
is
girl,
comical,
he
bro.
got exposed.
My
too bad,
premix.
man, bro.
Me premix.
Like, I'm not
Theo.
gonna lie. To think of that AOC is the top of the Democrat Party, though, it seemed like it's just the more extreme you are.
They
the
said
more you love.
AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Ayanna Presley. That's the big three of doom.
I'm telling you, Jordan Peterson said this is even bad for Republicans because there's no competition. So they're just going to be lazy because they know that there's no chance that anyone from the Democratic Party is going to step
My
up
boy
and be a
Charlie
strong
still
leader.
putting in work, though, man. My boy Charlie been at the university still to this day.
Hey,
Like,
He love doing that. He enjoys it.
He see the writing on the wall. He gotta put somebody gotta do the leg work.
man, we might need to, hey, man.
Hey.
Put Charlie up there. I'll be forgetting about Charlie, man.
Charlie
Let
said he don't want to
Charlie
run.
Yeah.
He said that multiple times.
Yeah, that is a lot of
He
work.
said he would rather just be the one he can call the president anytime, but he don't want to have to do that. And I think he wouldn't be able to talk as reckless, you know. Whenever you're like
There's different
campaigning,
responsibilities.
Yeah, you have to, you know.
Yeah, we got more
I'm gonna keep it-
reckless talking from Trump than Charlie.
I'm gonna keep it 100. If Charlie, they probably got a lot of clips on
Have
Charlie.
you seen that video of Charlie crashing on Sync?
He will grill
or Jink
somebody.
Uger from the TYT.
he was bad.
Yeah, when he stood up, he was hot.
He was yelling.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, you can't
I've
do that
never
as
seen
a
Trump get
president.
that character like that.
Who, Charlie?
Yeah, he was pissed off.
Like he wanted to throw them.
He was with that.
Damn near.
No, he was
Damn near.
hot.
It looked like it could have got to that point.
He was standing up yelling, they had to grab him.
Yeah. It got to
Charlie
that point.
6'5", man.
He was livid.
Charlie
Yeah.
got that. Hey, you can't-
Hey, Charlie
He
taller
shook-
than me, man. That shit fucked me
He
up.
shook Gavin, man. He came in there with the conservative aura, man, and Gavin got to switching up, man. Tell my son loves you, bro. Stupid ass, man.
No, I think Gavin Newsom, he's a politician. What is he trying to do? He's trying to get votes. And he's listening to the people who are always saying, if you keep this radical stuff that's so far left, you're not going to win. And I think he's realizing that. So he's trying to come a little bit more to the middle to get some people who actually have brains.
He's trying to garner some support. See, but that also makes him like a hard candidate to support because what do you really stand on?
Yeah, that's
What
true.
principle
yeah.
do you really
Sorry,
stand on?
I didn't mean to say who have brains, just the people who aren't so radical. Sorry.
Like, what
y'all.
do you really stand on? Like you can't even stand on the principles that you enforcing in your state. Now you abandoning that for like now you know you a wolf. You know,
What did they call his podcast? The MAGA Questioning?
MAGA curious.
That's hilarious, guys.
Checking in with MAGA.
Let us know what y'all think, guys.